Hello, class. Greg here, back in the rocker again. Um, I wanted to walk you through yesterday's module. Hopefully, now everybody's had a chance to look at everything. And I also wanted to remind you about office hours today. Um, Again, it's a very good opportunity for you to discuss any of your essay feedback. By now, everybody should have feedback on both essays, both the rhetorical analysis and your academic argument essay number one. Um, you should be feeling confident about navigating Canvas to access and see what your Canvas grade is. Remember, we're at the midway point of the semester. Your Canvas grade is 40% of your total grade. Your essay grades are 50% of your total grades. Your Canvas grade is a percentage, right? If you click on grades, it'll show you where you're at. Your essay grades are letters, so you should have gotten 2 letter grades, A, B, or C on the first 2 papers. So again, everybody should be feeling confident moving forward in the semester and recognize that your final exam is 10%. So hopefully we'll all be putting ourselves in a position to get an A in this class. And if you're having any difficulty, please contact me. Either stop by the Zoom office hour today, give me a call, text me, FaceTime me, those voice memos. If you have an iPhone where you hold it down and you're like, hey, Craig, it's so-and-so. Voice memos are fine. All of that works. Keep in mind, too, that for this next essay, I'll be posting a fresh video of your pre-writing discussion. You'll notice I posted a video here on yesterday's module, and with the notation that I'll be coming back tomorrow after everybody submits their pre-writing, and I'll post a fresh video Thursday morning reflecting on the other pre-writing posts. Remember too, by midnight tomorrow, you want to reply with respectable and thoughtful feedback and suggestions. And I hope that everybody, as you're moving forward with academic argument Essay2, you're feeling confident thinking about stereotyping and stereotypes as related to gender identity, racial identity, disabilities, mental illness, sexual orientation. If you even want to focus on topics that interest you other than the essays that we've read, that's fine too, as long as it's dealing with stereotyping and some form of identity, and you're looking at causes and effects, right, to demonstrate an awareness about the big picture in life, about culture, society. You know, I personally, I probably would write about sports because I'm a sports person. I enjoy watching sports, and quite frankly, I found the WNBA and this year's playoffs in particular to be quite riveting. And if you are a sports person like myself, you might find yourself writing about Title IX, which when you go to the opposing viewpoints database, there's a whole section on that in which it states that colleges need to offer the same amount of scholarships for females as males. You might write about MMA and how the MMA has been opened up to, and boxing, and Muhammad Ali's daughter, right, have been opened up to female participants in recent decades. You might also write about women's soccer and Olympics and things of that nature. Because 10 years ago, a lot of these leagues and a lot of these opportunities did not exist. So again, the essays are dealing with issues regarding culture, regarding society. You can, when you look at all the prompts, you can write about TV shows, you can write about movies, you can write about colleges or institutions and what their policies are. Again, you could write about, if you wanted to write about institutions like sports or dare I say it, right, religion. I mean, last time I looked, there's very few opportunities for females in religious institutes, such as the Catholic Church, and other religions are offering the opportunity for women to become preachers, pastors, reverends, things of that nature. So again, you have a lot of options for this essay. Just as the first essay, everybody eats food, right? We all recognize identity and we all have an identity. So I implore you to invoke your ethos, right? And again, for me, as someone who's watched sports and participated in sports, I'm a frustrated wannabe basketball player. Uh, my whole life, I would probably start with some sort of an anecdote describing how, I'd probably talk about how I was shooting hoops with my friend Debbie the other day, my best friend's significant other. And she's better than me. It's the truth. She is. And, it's difficult to admit when someone consistently beats you at a game. It's humbling. So I would probably write about that dynamic just as an anecdote to kind of give some background on how, as someone who grew up with three sisters, I was the only boy. They dressed me in dresses, they put stuff in my hair, I played with Barbie dolls, all that good stuff. I'd probably invoke that too. To write about, just gender and identity. And I'd bring in, my friend Debbie constantly schooling me on the court. Anyway, I digress, but invoke your ethos. You get an idea of where I'd be going with my background. Now, I just wanted to also bring up the idea of description, how important it is to describe. Remember, I've always said, when you're looking for examples, right? Who, what, when, where, why, and how. Great ideas to help you brainstorm. And I think you could see on my Essay2 pre-writing, I myself also, right, use those strategies to generate examples, right? Activities, organizations, behaviors, right? There's my sports thing there. You'll notice a friend of mine stayed at a Dolce hotel and resort and brought me the pad. I don't know if it was complimentary or not. I didn't ask. I think it's kind of cool to have my name on a piece of paper that I'm writing a pre-writing on. So anyway, that being said, gives me a little smile, a little chuckle. So I hope you found this helpful in that you've got a lot of options in terms of what you want to focus on. And then just kind of generate those ideas. Just write them all down. Look at my pre-writing. It's kind of a mess. Second thing with it, but it's okay if your pre-writing is a mess, because that's what it is. You want to just get it all out, and then you start to organize it. When you post your ideas on the discussion, you get feedback from your fellow students, you get feedback from me, and then we can start writing the intro paragraph. So just as I posted a sample intro paragraph for academic argument one on the vegetarianism ideas, and I invoked my own ethos as someone who agrees with Kathy Freston. And in my response, I feel as though we should not just eat less meat, we should eat, as little amounts of meat as possible because of health, right, factors, and because of animal cruelty. In addition to her argument about the environment, I'll also be posting my sample intro paragraph. And like I said, I'll probably write about, growing up and how nowadays, shooting hoops with my friend Debbie. So that being said, the other strategy that I invoke constantly is description, right? And what does it look like, smell like, taste like, sound like, and feel like? Now, those all don't apply, right? I don't know if I'll be invoking the sense of taste in my introduction, but I don't know, right? There's that general expression, right? When you lose, somebody says you want to get the taste out of your mouth. And that figure of speech synesthesia, when one sense invokes another. So I might invoke some synesthesia description, right? How a certain, smell might bring you back and bring some memories into your mind. Now, again, is that applicable for this essay? Maybe not, but you might have invoked the sense of taste when describing reasons why people continue to eat meat and why we should eat logically produced meat, right? Right now, if I were to describe based on taste, I'm drinking a pecan flavored cup of black coffee, and boy, is it delicious. I put the lit in literature, Shakespeare mug, right? Specific details. I didn't just say I'm having a cup of coffee. I said I'm drinking pecan coffee, which is delicious, by the way. I got it at Sprouts. If you're a coffee drinker, I highly suggest trying it. And this happens to be a mug that my sister gave me because I jokingly refer to myself as a bardolator, which is a lover of Shakespeare. And if you so choose to take my 201 class, we do read the Shakespearean tragedies and look at them from a critical thinking standpoint. So I'd love to have you along for that ride. That being said, happy Tuesday, happy office hour Tuesday. I hope to see you in office hours or get in touch with me during the day if you have any questions. You'll notice, right? Our first class reading for the week, we're going to read about similes, understatement, and anaphora. Maybe you try to use one of these figures of speech in your title for Essay2. We'll be going over the fallacies from the book. And then you noticed that you should have noticed that I did a video not only on rhetorical analysis and the lens for this assignment and our SLOs, right, with a link to the Purdue OWL site for the rhetorical situation, which you might use as a secondary source. I've listed out each of the topics from our, each of the readings from class and the topics here. And if you scroll down to the next page, you'll see I have also typed out each of the respond topics from the book. So you can kind of have them visually in front of you all at once, and you don't have to keep turning the pages. You now have seen my pre-writing. And as we move forward, you'll see that the video on obtaining sources from the database, that was the discussion video on people's pre-writing. And then here is the pre-writing assignment. If you haven't already submitted, please do so, right? And as you move forward, you'll see there's numerous videos with links either to the essay or the document that I found myself reviewing. There's 2 articles about storm that could be used as Storm Stalker as sources. We have our fallacies lecture with 3 links to the websites where I found various examples of the fallacies, back to the Storm Stalker. And boy, oh boy, is this an interesting segment from Dr. Drew in which they analyze Storm's situation. There's a link to the video and then obviously links to the documents. And definitely some fallacies going on. And then as you're drafting the intro paragraph, I went over the rules of thumb reading with the suggestions for introductions, as well as our checklist and suggestions from the Purdue OWL with links. And then we have the academic argument essay number 2 instructions. Again, the key here, background, right? Thesis, right? And support. And then we have our checklist. So this is to help to prepare you for your drafting of the intro, which hopefully everybody will get a chance to post sooner than later. Same with your précis. And then after you post your intro, make sure that you come back to comment on at least 2 intro paragraphs with respectful and thoughtful feedback. And hopefully everybody's feeling good about starting the second half of the semester, knowing where your grade's at. So today is a good day to contact me if you have any questions about your grade after you check on your Canvas grades. And you should have already gotten audio feedback on both of your essays. So if you haven't listened to it, please give it a listen. Again, you know, let me know if you have any questions. And happy Tuesday and happy second part of the semester. Thanks for listening and watching.